What if France won the Napoleonic Wars? So we start on the 15th of August, 1769, where on the island of Corsica in the city of Ajaccio, Napoleon Bonaparte was born. Napoleon, when he was a kid, went to a French military academy in the mainland. But there's one problem. Due to the social patriarchy in France, he couldn't rise up the ranks because he wasn't from a noble family. This would all change with the start of the French Revolution, where he fought against the unpopular French monarchy. After the end of the revolution, Napoleon overthrew the government in France, setting up a new French superpower. After countless wars against France with other European powers, France ruled almost all of Europe. So what do we change so France wins these wars? That is very simple. In the year 1812, on June 24th, France does not invade Russia. Instead, France accepted that the Russian state is too big to be fully taken over. So what now? That's hard to tell, because France can't do much before Britain decides to surrender, or at least sue for peace. So we need to change something. We need that Britain is unable to fight France. So we arrive in the year 1812, right before the United States invades British Canada. In this universe, the United States makes a deal with France that France will send some troops to help invade Canada. The United States declares war on the United Kingdom, and French and Americans start invading Canada. After the United States takes over most of the population centers in Canada, it capitulates. With this, the United Kingdom and France struck a deal. France will annex Quebec as a colony, with the United States annexing some border areas, but the rest of Canada will return to the United Kingdom. Now, with France being free to do what they please, they prepare the invasion of the Ottomans. You may ask, why Ottomans? Because France wants to expand their colonial empire, and they want to control Constantinople. The invasion of the Ottomans begins in 1814, on the 8th of July. France makes a naval invasion into Egypt. Then, a few days after, the land invasion from their ally, the Austrian Empire, starts. After some pushing into the Balkans, Russia invades Armenia and joins the war on the side of France. The Ottomans, who are not in decline just yet, stand no chance against the French alliance. After the fall of Constantinople, captured by France, the Ottomans surrender. In the following peace deal, France annexes parts of the Nile and Constantinople. Austria annexes Bosnia, and a small Serbian puppet is created under their rule. Russia puppets Romania. After a few years, Russian and French relations start crumbling. This could be said even about their allies in Austria and Prussia. After some years, the Italians start a revolution, which was brutally put down. This angers the Italian states under French control, where people overthrow their pro-French governments. This would start the War of Italian Independence. Britain sees this as a weakness in the slowly collapsing French state and declares war. This is the start of the Great War, now known as the First World War. Tensions rise, and Prussia, with Austria, leave the French alliance. After this, Russia declares war on the French in hopes of taking Constantinople. As the French control over the continent starts to fade, Prussia declares war, followed by the Austrians. Fighting across the whole continent is brutal, but after the Austro-Russian and Polish offensive, and the Italian gains in their homeland, the Ottomans finally decide to enter the war in hopes of re-annexing their lost lands. With the Prussian two-week plan starting, a plan where they would push the French behind the Rhine River, the French were stuck trying to hold on to their empire. The death blow was just committed. The British landed in the Benelux, going behind the French front, destroying the French dreams of holding on in Germany. After the Italians have taken over their mainland, and the Prussians taking everything to the Rhine, the French decided to try their last offensive, where Napoleon would tragically die in battle. After this great military and moral defeat for France, they would surrender, ending the Great War. In the peace deal, Russia and Prussia both claim all of Poland. This is resolved on a compromise where Russia and Prussia would split Poland. The Ottomans gained back Constantinople much to the dismay of Russia, with Italy kinda uniting, with most of the peninsula being united under the control of the Free Kingdom of Italians, with only some regions staying independent. Now we face a problem. A German problem. A German Confederation of the Rhine. The Confederation of the Rhine, now being united for many years, wanted to stay united. So Prussia offered to annex all of the Confederation, plus annexing the Rhineland. But it was quickly refused by Austria, which instead offered that they annex the land instead. As the two powers couldn't agree, the German lands were in shared occupation between Austria and Prussia. Meanwhile, Britain will annex Quebec, with them taking the Egyptian colony. After the war, France is destroyed, her leader dead, and the unrest of the nation bigger than ever. Would France turn monarchist? Would they stay revolutionary? I will not be going over this in this video. In the script I'm reading, it tells me to go and say like and subscribe. So, if you could do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Goodbye.